Yo, what is good, Ninja? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another PE Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today we have some awesome information for you guys, some news coming out of Square Enix, and also a huge update for Splatoon 2, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Square Enix on the Nintendo Switch. Quote, we want to proactively create new IP and reboot past titles well suited to mid-sized game development as well. So there's also some other interesting comments from them, but let's go ahead and get into what Square Enix had to say. So recently Square Enix has outlined their results briefing, which was held on November 8, 2017, in which Square Enix president and representative director Yusuke Matsuda shared some words for the Nintendo Switch. Here are the key questions which expand upon the initial report earlier this month. Now, if you guys don't remember that initial report, this is basically what Square Enix said. Square Enix said that they're looking into the Nintendo Switch. They said that multi-platform development is possible, and they're going to be looking into that as far as creating a base game for PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, and then optimizing for each platform. So they're looking into multi-platform development, but they also expanded upon that when it comes particularly to the Nintendo Switch. So here is the question: where do you intend to prioritize allocation of your development resources going forward? Here's the answer. We base our development resources allocations on the unique attributes of each platform. In particular, Nintendo Switch makes it easier for us to leverage our back catalog of assets and expertise, so we want to be proactive in creating new IP and rebooting past titles for the platform. Another question: what do you think of Nintendo Switch and how are you approaching development efforts in it? Nintendo Switch is seeing rapid uptake, and we welcome the arrival of such a platform. We intend to be proactive in our development efforts, given that it's a platform that is well suited for mid-sized titles at which we excel. So I want to talk about this because this is definitely great news, but I don't think it's as massive as everyone has kind of been putting out there. People are throwing out all sorts of crazy stuff, which happens whenever you get companies talking about things. But I do want to first talk about just basically what I would like. Now, the first thing as far as what he says is that the allocation, and they say that creating new IPs and rebooting past titles. Well, if you're going to be rebooting past titles, maybe you should start with that Secret of Mana remake that you're not putting on the Nintendo Switch at this point. Maybe you should start with that. So you're not putting that on there. So go ahead and start right there, Square Enix. Now, the next thing that I would say as far as that goes is, yes, stuff like Project Octopath. That is basically a new IP that is more on the mid-size to higher size. I mean, more on the mid than anything, but it is a new IP that people are really excited about, that they can use their expertise in order to bring to Nintendo Switch. Project Octopath, not necessarily just the art style, but the style of game that it is exactly what I want to see on the Nintendo Switch. When they talk about games coming over to the platform, that is absolutely perfect. And the reason why it's perfect, because it has the perfect blend of optimizing what the Nintendo Switch is good at as far as what they're doing. On top of that, it tugs on the nostalgia strings, and it also adds in the flavor of what we've seen before. So while it's a new IP, we all know who's played Bravely Default, like, okay, yeah, this is like Bravely Default a little bit, or we can get into it. So it does all of the right things when you're talking about a new IP and introducing it to the Nintendo fan base. And that's why Project Octopath is going to be a big seller, and I think it's going to do very well. I think it's going to do better than Bravely Default did on the Nintendo 3DS back in like 2014 and 2015 or 2016, whenever Bravely Second came out as well. So I do feel that they're on the right track there. Now, past IP, as far as what I'd like to see, I think that this is simple, guys. You can talk about big, huge games like Final Fantasy 15, or you can talk about Kingdom Hearts, you can talk about whatever you want, but obviously this point is where I'm really going to harp on, and that is retroactively bringing back their IP, rebooting their IP. There are a number of games in Square Enix's rich history that they can bring back on the Nintendo Switch that would have a lot of success, and I think number one, what everyone is probably thinking when you're watching this video, is Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger needs to be brought back. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It needs to be brought back, and it needs to be brought back in a good way. Now, there's a lot of people who hold this title so iconically, like Square Enix can't mess this one up. People are saying, oh, well, only if you have Akira Toriyama will I play something, or only if you have this person, only if you bring back the Dream Team, only if you have Hironobu Sakaguchi, only if you do this, only if you do that. You know, there's all sorts of people throwing out stuff, even like people that aren't even involved in Chrono Trigger, or who weren't even involved, to talk about, oh, well, you have to bring them into it. So that's the whole thing, guys. I think with Chrono Trigger, there's a couple different things. You can make a complete remake of the game with modern graphics, like PS3, PS4 levels, somewhere in between there. You can do that, which I don't think that would necessarily be a bad thing if they wanted to do that. or what you can do is make a sequel. You can make a different game or a spin-off based on that, and I think that that's where you can fall into more trouble. Obviously, it could be cool, but when you start talking about spiritual successors or spin-offs and stuff like that, it's really tough to live up to what they did before, especially with the game that's 20 years old at this point plus, and people just hold it in such high regard. So I honestly think just to get the ball rolling first, they should absolutely just make a good remake of the game, a complete remake of the game using more modern end graphics, make it smooth, make it nice looking, do whatever you need to do. It doesn't necessarily need to be like fully like 3D, it can be anime styled, it can be something very similar to like Dragon Quest and how that game looks. So if they did something like that and then they added in whatever new ideas and elements to kind of ease in the player or ease in new players into that, Chrono Trigger's battle system is already really good, but if they layered in a few more things into that, I think that's where they could have a lot of success. And honestly, the sky's the limit if they do that, because there are people who have been waiting for Chrono Trigger to come back, and I think the Nintendo Switch is the perfect system. Since Chrono Trigger originally released on the Super Nintendo, you can honestly get back all of those people that were kids, because the people that are buying the Switch are a lot of dudes like me that grew up on the Super Nintendo, and we're seeing some of the similarities when it comes to games and the aggressiveness, and we love that about the Switch. So if they were to bring back Chrono Trigger, that could be a big boost to them as a company and get them tons of sales, because I know so many people with the Switch that are in my age range, a little bit older, that are like, yeah, I would love a Chrono Trigger for the Nintendo Switch, bring it out. So we'll see what happens as far as that goes. What do you guys think about their comments here? They made a little bit more. You can get the full details, link in the description below, but for me, I'm really focused on them rebooting the IP. There's Parasite's Eve, there's just all sorts of stuff that they can do. They have a lot of different games that they can reboot. So what do you guys think about what Square Enix had to say, and what IPs would you like to see rebooted on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next article here, Splatoon 2 is getting a massive update on November 23rd and mid-December. This is awesome, guys, and this is going to make PE Arena even better when this stuff rolls out. So we've got new Salmon Run stage, ranked battle mode, and more. We're going to go over all these updates, then I'll give you guys my brief thoughts on this, because this is really hype. So free updates for Splatoon 2 are due out on November 23rd and mid-December, and it will add various new features to the game, Nintendo has announced. Now, the November 23rd update will add 4 new battle stages, a new stage for Salmon Run, new gear and hairstyles for Inklings, and more. The mid-December update will introduce a new ranked battle mode called Clam Blitz, which involves picking up clams around the stage and trying to throw them into your opponent's basket. So that is really cool. It's like basketball or something like that. So here's an overview of each update. We won't go over everything, but I will go over most of the stuff here. So the November 23rd update, which is coming very soon here, Ninja, 4 new battle stages. While 4 new battle stages are coming to Splatoon 2, they won't be available immediately after downloading the update. Like the previous editions, the stages will roll out over the subsequent weeks, giving players new surprises as they play throughout the holiday season and beyond. The first new battle stage, Mako Kart, and will be available to play on Black Friday, November 24th with Sheldendorf Institute, Walleye Warehouse, and Arowana Mall coming soon. The new Mako Mart stage is a giant superstore style stage, so what better time to play on Black Friday? Now, they also detailed the other stages as well, and that is super hype. I cannot wait to play that. We might have to have a PE Arena on the Black Friday. So, new gear. Approximately 140 pieces of new gear are being added to Splatoon 2. These include shoes, headgear, clothes, like the motocross mask, and additional winter clothing perfect for the cold weather, as well as returning items from the original Splatoon game. And you have the new battle music. 2 new bands have been gaining popularity in Inkopolis. The punk-flavored Bottom Feeders and classically trained avant-garde style Ink Theory are contributing new songs to the already music-rich game. We have new hairstyles. When customizing an Inkling, 4 new hairstyles will be available to choose from, which is cool. 2 each for female and male characters. Nice. Higher level caps, and this is probably the big one that a lot of people are going to be excited for. So currently, players are maxed out at level 50. After downloading the update, the new maximum level will be raised to 99. If players talk to Judd when they reach level 99, they'll have the option to reset their level display to level 1 with a star on there, so like a prestige, so they can continue raising their level. Oh, nice. So you can kind of, they introduced prestiging. New amiibo functionality. Tapping a compatible amiibo figure after the update will let players take and share in-game photos in preset locations and battle stages in addition to being able to take photos in Inkopolis Square. Players can also add fun filters to their images, convenient gear swapping. Players that want to change gear between battles in regular battle, ranked battle, and Splatfest battle solo won't have to exit the lobby anymore. After downloading, the update gear can be swapped out without leaving the match room, making it quicker to get back to splatting. For regular battle, this also means players can play the next battle with the same players. So this is really good, especially for us who do PE Arena. So let me go into the Clan Blitz and then we'll talk about this just a little bit, guys. So yeah, this is awesome. So we have the Clan Blitz. In Clan Blitz, competing Inklings are tasked with collecting clams scattered throughout the stage. After one is picked up, the clam follows the player. The objective is to throw the clam into the basket near the opponent's base. The first team to score 100 points wins, but of course, this being fiercely competitive world of Splatoon 2, things are not as easy as they seem. The baskets are protected by a barrier which must be destroyed first. After collecting 10 clams, the player will earn a power clam. These super powered clams are the key to breaking the barrier, so strategy will definitely be involved in which clams are used to destroy the barrier and which are used to earn points. Not to mention the extra satisfying opportunity to steal opponents' clams by splatting them. Splatoon 2 is out now, so guys, let's talk about this because there's a lot of great things in here. I'm not going to go on too much because I could go on forever, but I think there's a lot of stuff. So for example, the convenient gear swapping, being able to swap gear, like you don't have to exit, like that should have been something that should have been in there in the first place, and they finally put that in there, so I'm really happy about that. A lot of you guys like to change gear while we're playing on PE Arena. Now you don't have to worry about it. We can still keep our team together as far as the normal battles and play the game. The higher level caps, a lot of you guys are already maxed out. Well, here you go. You can do that. Plus you have prestige as well. So for the super fans of this game, this is going to be really good. Love the mid-December update with a brand new mode. Looking forward to that as well, man. So there's a lot of cool stuff. So what do you guys think about the Splatoon 2 update? I am super hyped for it, and I think this is even going to help it sell more on Black Friday, especially with those new stages, those new battle ones added in. Fantastic support for Splatoon 2. Seriously, they're adding a lot of great stuff for free. All the stuff being added in for free. So what do you guys think about Splatoon 2 as far as the update goes? What's your most hyped thing about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. It really helps spread the content of Player Access across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon and YouTube live gaming page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool things such as emotes when you sponsor, rewards, and more. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.